Welcome Capricorn and Capricorn cross watchers to your reading. So I hope you guys have had a great day. And of course, thank you for stopping by my channel. So we have the 10 of coins, or that would be the 10 of pentacles. Okay. Capricorn, I actually feel like somebody might be trying to attract you somehow. It doesn't feel like it's, they're in the manifestation trying to get in that energy. I feel like they're actually taking some sort of action here. I'm just not so sure that it's... Hold on for a second before I speak on it. Wheel of Fortune. We're going to get 2 more cards. Okay. It almost feels like we have the 2 of Swords at the bottom of the deck and then the Chariot with the 3 of Wands. So straight off the hop here, it almost feels like something is about to play out either exactly the way that you thought it would, or, maybe you had a dream about it or a vision. It just feels like there's something here that it's like you were expecting to happen to a certain point, but beyond that point, it's almost like there's this ambiguity. And I feel like it feels a little bit like you might be going tete-a-tete with the universe. My apologies. If it dings again, I'll mute it. It's just my phone. It actually feels like, let's say, for example, may not be the actual situation, but it's like you had a dream about something happening, and then it starts to happen right in front of you. And I feel like you're like, you know what? I don't have all the information, so we're just gonna pump the brakes. We're just gonna take a minute here, and it's almost like, not so much that you want to check in to like make sure you're doing things right. It's almost like you're playing chicken with the universe a little bit. I guess I'm calling you out today. I'm sorry. Waiting for that little bit of information. And it does feel like, it almost feels like you may have been pushed to a point where whatever information you're waiting for, it feels like you're kind of willing to go to the mat for it. So, what's interesting is that it feels like it is... Oh! Okay. So Capricorn, what I'm seeing here is that someone may be using their wealth to attract you, but it's almost like you might have some sort of signal or information that it's like they don't feel like your person. You know what I mean? It's like maybe they check all of the boxes, but there's something that's not there. It's almost like you're waiting for the universe to kind of wipe the slate clean and bring in someone better, or at least better suited to you. It feels like you want something... I almost wanted to say more magical, but I mean, I'm sure everybody would want that. It feels more like it's almost like you want someone that you can see eye to eye with. It's almost like you want someone that you can grow with, rather than it seems like someone that's hit their peak. And not that like, oh, it's going to be all downhill from there, but it just feels like you're looking for something that has more opportunity to expand and grow. It almost feels like you might be looking for something, I want to say like a little bit darker. And dark doesn't always have to mean bad, okay? It just feels like you're looking for something that's more a match to your energy. And this person that may have a lot going on for them, it feels like whatever they're offering, you're kind of not ready for. For some of you, it may not be that you're not ready. For some of you, it could actually be that you've kind of moved past wanting that, and now you want something different. It's almost the energy of like, let's say, for example, you're really well set financially, and someone comes in trying to use finances to attract you, and you're kind of like, yeah, that's not really doing it for me. Not that it would before, but you know what I'm saying. And so it's like you're looking for someone that's going to expand a different part of you. And I feel like that may be why it's almost like you're looking for someone that has more ambiguity about them. It feels like I almost said it's like you're looking for someone that's more interesting, but then that didn't quite sit right. I feel like you're looking for someone that can teach you something. Something, I mean, obviously something that's very valuable, but it's like you're looking for someone that can kind of expose you to something that you haven't had before. And it's like there's something about this person that's coming in that you're, not super interested in. It almost seems like it's like a cookie cutter approach, right? It's like how everybody goes on and on about alpha males and alpha this and alpha that. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's like the result of people wanting to imitate a certain type of person means that those people are cookie cutter versions of that one, and they're not authentic to themselves, which means they just kind of don't do it for you. It's almost like you want someone that can kind of rise above all that stuff. It's that energy of like, it doesn't, I want to be really clear. It doesn't feel like you're, walking around pounding on your chest talking about what an alpha you are. It feels more that like you want someone that isn't, hold on for a sec. Like that's someone that doesn't buy into all that stuff, someone that doesn't waste their time on it. Again, not that I feel any of these things, okay, so don't, I mean, you can if you want, but don't get angry at me in the comments. It's just to describe the energy. If that doesn't describe you specifically, it's just to describe that there's something that this person and a lot of people do that you have no interest in. It's like, it's almost like whatever that element is, immediate turn off. So for example, let's say if this person was kind of coming to you wanting to start something, it's like the minute that they start talking about that, it's like any possibility is immediately shut down. It does feel, it could be in your past that you've experienced someone like this. I feel for some of you, it could be that you've watched someone close to you have to deal with someone that places too much value on whatever that thing is. So in this example, we'll talk about the money thing, because that's what I was feeling at the beginning. So for example, you have seen a sibling that, for some of you, it may not have been a sibling. It feels like a step family member, stepsister, whatever. Anyway, for some of you, I'm hearing stepmom. I'm not sure how that would work, but anyway, I digress. This person who is close to you but has there's something that's a little removed, there's a certain amount of it's almost like you could see a part of them die with this person. You know what I mean? It's like, let's say, for example, they were kind of a hopeless romantic and they were looking for that, not to get corny here, but what's that line Carrie says in X in the City? It's, like, inconvenient, can't live without each other love, right? It's like this person may have felt that they wanted that at one point in time, but it's like, but now in the interaction with this person, it's like they've had to kind of mold themselves in order to accommodate this, in order to stay in the relationship and have some semblance of happiness, they've had to almost morph into somebody that places value on that as well. And it's like you can see in their eyes that they don't actually value it, but they are talking themselves into it. But I feel like It's like, yeah, to the world they might present that that's the case, but they're crying themselves to sleep at night. It's almost like knowing that it's a wasted life. It's that energy of like, well, I have all these nice things, but it's like, and that's great, but they don't have somebody that they feel is really focused on them. So from what I'm seeing, it kind of looks like you're not going to get caught up in that 100%. Um, but there are two cards of kind of like pausing and waiting, right? We have the Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and kind of I'm seeing you here as this Four of Swords. So I just want to pull a card on this Ace of Swords just to kind of feel into it before we get going. I'm just trying to see which deck we're going to use. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm just going to mute that actually. I don't want it to be disruptive. There we go. Sorry, guys. So we're going to pull a card on this. I'm actually feeling on this Wheel of Fortune. I feel like there's going to be something abrupt. I almost want to say abrasive about this person, but it feels like that term might be too strong for it. It just feels like there's something about this person that, like the way things start, like you might actually physically bump into them, like one of you isn't looking where you're going. Excuse me. And it'll almost feel like you've been struck by lightning. That's the kind of energy that and I feel for some of you, that might actually be what you're waiting for. I feel, this might be calling you out a little bit here, Capricorn. I feel like some of you, you're holding on to this kind of like certain standard, which of course we all have to have standards, right? We all know that. But it feels like you're very laser focused on getting a very specific person. It's almost the energy of like the reason that you have these immediate deal breakers like you did with this person, because you know exactly what you want. And I feel like because you're in an energy where you don't need it, I feel like you're more looking at it like this is me talking you in first person, okay? But it's like, well, if I don't need it, Capricorn doesn't need it, then it's like really feeling, I feel like part of it is feeling fulfilled within yourself. And I feel like the other part of it is having watched this situation fall apart. Maybe not even fall apart, but having watched someone live a life that makes them unhappy. Like that's just not going to work for you. That's not what you're about. So I feel like there are some immediate deal breakers that some people may feel you're being too rigid on or too decisive on. And I feel like there may be times where this little like voice nags at you, like, if you keep being this picky, almost feeling like, well, maybe there isn't anybody out there. It feels like I'm not trying to be ominous, okay, or fearmonger. I want to make that really clear. It does feel like there's something here that you don't know. If that makes sense. It's almost like I initially heard there may be a betrayal coming. I want to stress that may not be for everybody. It just feels like there's some piece of information that's coming your way that, while you may not be surprised by the nature of it, it doesn't feel good. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? But it doesn't feel like it's surprising. You know what I mean? It's almost like you felt a disturbance in the force, you knew something was going on, and then it happens, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I figured that might happen. And it's almost this energy of like, is that it? Is that the whole thing that was going to happen? Is that the whole thing that sent my spidey senses into overdrive? So, can we get... Hold on for a sec. Can we get a card on this Ace of Swords reversed? It's almost the energy of like... This may be specific, okay? I feel like whoever this person is that's trying to attract you with something superficial, it almost feels like there's something about what they're using to attract you that's fraudulent. You know what I mean? So it's like if it's someone that's trying to project an image of being very wealthy, it's like, well, they didn't get that way. Let's say they try to project an image of being a self-made person, but in actuality, they're not. Like they get a lot of supplements from like family or something like that. It's like, yeah, maybe they have money, but they're not. It's like their level of maturity and responsibility doesn't match the success they've had, if that makes sense. And then, I mean, on this Ace of Swords reversed, we got Eight of Wands reversed, Ace of Cups reversed, and then the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I feel like if anybody comes toward you, if they come too fast, like there's a lot of parameters that you've set up to weed out the people that are not going to be right for you, right? So it's like if somebody comes charging at you, and they want to like hop, skip, and jump into a commitment too soon, or into, relations too soon, or whatever it is, it feels like that's not something that you're interested in. You know what I mean? Because it's the energy of somebody that wants something real. And it's like if people show you even the slightest inkling that they're going to be wasting your time, they're going to get absolutely none of it. So I think I'll leave it there, Capricorn. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like what I do. It really does help the channel. And we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.